Hello, I'm the Media Wiz, because one art form wasn't enough, and we're back at it again with another movie vlog, because we haven't done that in a while. I think last time I did that was January of last year, and I talked about Man on the Moon. So, okay, this was, just like that was a request, this has been requested by Robert Roy, who's been a longtime fan and supporter. So, gotta talk about this movie. So this movie it's a boy-girl thing. It came out in 2006. The reason I've never heard of it for the longest time until it was requested to me was because the movie was filmed in America but produced in England. It was produced by Rocket Pictures or Rocket Entertainment, I forget what it's called, but it's Rocket something. And the film, the most notable film that I noticed from them was Romeo and Juliet. And apparently that's getting a sequel in 2018. I'm not sure. Whatever. So okay, that explains why I've never heard of it up to this point. But the actors you got, I forget the actors in this honestly. I did check their resumes. They do have a fair amount of stuff. The guy, they're both models. The lead actress, she is not only a model, she's also a fashion designer. They're both from, I think, Canadian descent, somewhere around there. The guy, I noticed that he played a role in the 2010 horror film Frozen. Yeah, that was about it. Apparently the chick was in some ABC show called, like, Dirty Sexy Money or something like that. Something to that extent. She was in a movie called The O.C., I think, too. But anyway, so what's the plot of this film? Well, it's a body switch comedy, which I just want to get off the bat. Body switching comedies, for me, range. Like, it depends on, and like, I count like so many different types of movies as body switch movies. Like, I count Big as a body switch movie, even though it's about a guy turning into his younger self. Another example of that is Only 17, or not only, Only 17 is a Rucka song as well as a Meghan Trainor song, which is hilarious. I forget, it was something 17. It had Matthew Perry and 17 again, that's what it was. It had Matthew Perry from Friends, and his younger version was played by Zac Efron. That's one of those. The biggest example, obviously, of a body switch movie is Freaky Friday, the original and the remake. Shaggy Dog technically counts, like movies where people turn into animals. That counts as that. Honestly, if you were to ask me the worst of these kind of movies, I would say either The Hot Chick, which I believe was the same year as this was. I'm not sure. Maybe, I don't know. I'm pretty sure. And the other one was 2011's The Change Up, which had Ryan Reynolds and I almost said Jason Sudeikis. No, Jason Bateman. Yeah, and that was like close to 2 hours of just nonstop, just cursing and crap jokes and, you know, dick jokes, sex jokes. It just wasn't funny. And, well, The Hot Chick had Rob Schneider, so you can tell where that's going. This one, okay, so the premise, it's pretty much in the same vein as Hot Chick because it's between a boy and a girl switching bodies. Now, when I first heard that, I thought this is going to be extremely awkward, and the first half definitely lived up to that expectation, but the bright side of that is by the second half of the movie on, it became a lot better than what I was expecting. So, like, I knew it was going to be a comedy, but I didn't know it was going to be a comedy drama, which it turned out to be, surprisingly enough. So, they established the guy as being a very immature dude. He's a quarterback. He's pretty much a dumb jock who was raised by a family that's, you know, the dad works at a spatula store, and they keep talking about, it doesn't, you know, they have a scene with the mom, and she's like, I don't care if you work in the spatula store. I love you regardless, that kind of situation. And the girl she's shy, she's a delicate virgin with a heart of gold, and she's saving herself and all that kind of stuff. She also considers girls that have a lot of sex whores, so take that as you will. Eventually, they established the guy. Now, here's the thing. In the first half of the movie, I did not like the guy character at all. Like, I thought he was just a dick. And I was just like, I'm like, there's gotta be a way you can make this guy somehow likable, please. And by the end of the movie, I was rooting for him. But the first half of the movie, like, well, okay. He's a dick because his friend is a dick. His friend is a sexaholic and all this kind of stuff. He's an asshole. Like, he at one point tries to run over a squirrel just because he can. he's driving super fast in a suburb of all things. Like, you're driving fast in a suburb. You look like a tool no matter what age you look. No matter what age you are, you drive fast in a suburb, you're a tool. He, the very first thing that they do, the two of them get into the car, speed off, and notice there's like a leaking, well, fire hydrant, and they're like, oh, there's a bunch of water next to that girl. And then so they drive into the water, and it sprays all over her, and her hair goes frizzy, because that's what her hair does. And just, like, from then on, like, he keeps messing with this girl just because he can. Like, he switches her, when they're in, like, an IT class or whatever, they're all in front of computers. And he swaps out, like, her browser with, like, some, like, male porn site. And the teacher's like, oh, young lady, you might want to change that. And she's like, oh my gosh, this is so awkward. And it's just like, I found myself sympathizing with her. I'm like, this guy is an asshole. Like, why should I like this guy? But eventually, the conflict of the film comes in very early when they go to a museum. And very similar to the extremely stupid film My Pet Monster, the main conflict kicks in when they go to this ancient artifact that has magical powers, because it was the statue of an Aztec sorcerer or some crap. I think that was their explanation. They make a joke about how Aztecs are very similar to Mexicans, which, once again, take that as you will. But, of course, the statue has magic powers, and it swaps them into each other's bodies. And then here's where the awkwardness comes in. I was, like, worried they were going to do these kind of jokes, and, oh my god, they got these jokes right out the gate. They have a scene where they both wake up, the dude looks down, notices he has boobs, and then feels down, he has a vag, and then the girl wakes up and she has morning wood, and she's like swatting at it with a fly swatter. Yeah. And that was something. They make a mole joke about the mom of the girl, who is a complete bitch. I'm being honest, because she, like, all throughout the movie, she's just this snobby, just pretentious. You don't like her at all. You're not supposed to like her in the movie. You're supposed to feel bad for the dad of the girl, because apparently, like, the dad of the boy and the dad of the girl, they used to be friends, and then eventually they stopped hanging out because the guy who was the dad of the girls started dating the mom, and he wants to live up to her standards. So, what else happens? So the first half of the movie, they do every single joke. They go to the bathrooms, and they don't know how to work them because they're in the different bodies. They do the jokes where the girl dresses the guy, like, or the girl in the guy's body dresses nicer than he would usually dress, and the guy, wanting to get back at her for making him look dorky, he dresses extremely provocatively in the girl's body. So the first half of the movie, I was just not liking it. Oh, they have a scene in a locker room, because the guy's a quarterback, and the guy with the girl's mind in his, I guess, is the right word. He isn't... Oh my god, this part was terrible. They go to the locker rooms, and his douchebag friend is ass naked, and it's one of those things like where they show like a barely an ass shot, but like it's implying that he's naked, and he's like, hey man, it's like, you want to rub my helmet? And then like the dude with the girl inside the dude's body is like, what? And it's like, my football helmet. He holds up the football helmet. It's like, rub it for good luck. Come on. And just like lightly rubs it. I was just like, oh my god, that was terrible. Oh my god. And then the girl in the guy's body breaks up with the dude's snobby, preppy, bitchy girlfriend, and like all throughout the movie, well, okay, I'll bring it up later. But to the dude, it's like, why would you do that? She was my girlfriend. Why would you do that? I'm gonna get back at you. And so the dude inside the girl's body decides, you know what? I'm gonna make you look like a total skank. So I'm gonna make love to this douchebag on a motorcycle named Nikki. So he goes to Nikki's place, and I want to point out, Nikki lives in a trailer, and when they show the trailer for the first time, I thought that it looked like the same trailer house from The Waterboy. I don't know why, it just reminded me of that. Just have Adam Sandler talking about high quality H2O. So eventually, like he keeps the dude in the girl's body keeps downing beer because it's like I'm gonna have sex with this guy. But then eventually he's like, No, can't do it. That's too gay, bro. Which, yeah, oh, don't believe, trust me, they make a lot of gay jokes. Well, sometimes in the movie. So he gets out of there, but it seems Nikki spread a lie, and Nikki said that they had the most depraved sex, and the girl in the guy's body feels really bad about it. She's like, yeah, she's like, oh, like, I feel terrible. I feel like a slut, and eventually they both confront Nikki, and the girl inside of the guy's body, yeah, oh, this is the best line in the movie. She punches him in the face, knocks him down, and then after that, shows them walking in the hallway talking to each other, and she's like, it feels good to hit someone. That was like the highest laugh I got. So that was good. Eventually they start to interact more and more. You can see where this is going. It's a very cliche premise, to say the least. Eventually they start liking each other more and more. They start interacting. They start going through each other's personal conflicts. In this case, the guy wants to get better at football, and the girl wants to go to Yale University. And oh man, this is interesting. So, well, okay, it happens a lot later. One thing I want to point out: there's a scene where the dude in the girl's body goes to a slumber party with a bunch of the popular girls at school, and this is the scene where the bitchy girlfriend pretty much reveals that, oh yeah, I was just dating him because he's a jock. He's an idiot. He's stupid. And he's not even that big down there. So, the only reason I hang out with him is because he's a popular jock. That's why. And of course, they show the scene where the dude inside the girl's body hears that and just complete sign of like shock, just like, oh my god. And then meanwhile, the girl inside the dude's body goes to a party, and she starts to realize like, wow, drinking and partying with a bunch of dudes is cool and fun. And so they starting to put each other in each other's shoes. Also, I want to point out that the scene ends with oh my god, I just remembered, with the dude inside the girl's body getting a Brazilian bikini wax down there on her muff. So one point I want to drill home in this vlog is that this movie, when it does humor, I didn't really find myself laughing all the time. There were some jokes that caught me off guard. The jokes that were like off guard, those were funny. Most of the gross out jokes though, whenever they talk about, like whenever they make jokes about genitals or something like that, that was cringy. Those parts just weren't that funny to me. But then eventually, the time comes. Of course, we have the obligatory feeling bad montage because the bitchy mom of the girl says to the girl who's actually the guy that, oh, the guy that you're interested in, he's an idiot, and it makes him feel bad inside because it's like she was talking about him. And they have a scene in the rain where he's tossing the football, sadly not to Tommy Wiseau. He's all bummed out, and eventually, they eventually feel better after that. Eventually, the girl with the guy's body has to, it's homecoming night, so gotta do an awesome game of football, and the dude inside the girl's body has to go to a college interview for Yale, and they're talking about poetry, which the girl was a really big fan of, and eventually the guy starts to talk about, oh well, have you ever heard of rap music? And he starts talking about rappers like 50 Cent and Marshall Mathers. He seriously calls them that in the movie. 50 Cent and Marshall Mathers. He's like they're urban poets. They talk about their struggles in a dark comedic tone, but they're able to convey a message. Here, listen to it. And apparently the dean or the guy doing the interview really liked it. So good for him. And the girl inside the dude's body does really good at football, and they're talking about, oh my god, we did really good. After the game, everything's all wrapped up. They're like, it's so good, we did great. And then at that moment, they swap back, which is weird because earlier on in the movie, when they first swapped, it happened like when they were asleep. So that was kind of bizarre. But yeah, now they're finally in each other's bodies again. Hooray, everything's good. But oh no, bitchy girlfriend. Bitchy girlfriend, I forgot to mention, is a cheerleader. Bitchy girlfriend kisses the guy and is like, oh, I like you now. But he's like, oh no, because then the girl, the main female is like, oh no, like you're kissing her, you backstabbed me, and then runs off crying. And he's like, no, I didn't mean that. It's one of those dumb, almost ending the movie, like misunderstandings. That was dumb. Like, that's the thing. This movie has a lot of cliches, and the humor didn't really work for me, but trust me, when it gets to the second half and starts showing actual emotion, that was the part that started winning me over. When they have scenes where they slow down and, you know, start talking to each other, that I liked. So then, oh my god, what else? Anyway, movie, you know, it ends in a prom. Eventually, you know, everything turned out great. Yeah, the girl ends up going to prom. The guy, you know, he becomes the homecoming king, I think. Or, yeah, he's the homecoming king. Or no, whatever those are called. And, you know, homecoming queen is the bitchy girl. But then, main love interest girl is like, I'm here now. They get together. The movie ends with them getting together. Happy ending. Whatever. So, in conclusion, there's really nothing else I can say about the movie. I didn't really like the humor in the first half. I thought it was immature, sophomoric, and just stupid. They had a really terrible joke about Shakespeare possibly being gay. That was dumb. I don't know why they did that. Other than that, though, I thought that when it actually got serious, and when they actually had serious moments of people sitting down and talking and being emotional, that actually worked to the movie's benefit. So, that's really the best way I could put it. I didn't like the first half, but when it got to the second half, that's when the movie was starting to win me over. Would I say this is a great movie? Not really. Is it a decent movie? I would definitely recommend this movie way more than The Hot Chick and way more than The Change Up. Those two suck. But this one, it's decent. Like, that's the best way to put it. It's not one of the worst movies I've ever looked at. Like, oh my god. Like, inappropriate comedy, movie 43, disaster movie, you know, Spy Kids 4, what was the other one? Sir Billy. Those were worse, you know, in comparison to this. I would rather watch this one as long as I can skip the first half. Because the first half is kind of intolerable for me, but then, like I said, yeah, second half was perfectly fine. So, Robert Roy, hope you enjoyed this, I hope you enjoyed this vlog of me talking about it. So yeah, thank you for watching this vlog, and I guess check out It's a Boy Girl Thing on the Media Wiz, because One Art Form wasn't enough. See you guys later.